This is the Winter Fanboys Podcast, pre-recorded at First Base Studios in the heart of New York City.
These streets have never looked so sweet, never been so clean underneath my feet. And this city has never been so quiet. I just added you back on ice so you could see the silent night. Hey, hey, look at you now, you look just like my grown-up brother. I roll you out of the ground so we could be friends with each other. Clouds break, dropping those flakes that fall like rain and turn to sugar. We watch the skyline fade while the wind slowly took her away.
And welcome back to the Winter Fanboys Podcast. Let's go ahead and pick up where we left off in the last episode. Ben, take it away.
Yeah, let's get started. So the first two songs that we're going to cover are the first, and we decided to do the pairings. So the first and last song of the album, Sugar and Maple, are the two that we're going to cover first. So let's talk about Sugar. So Sugar is Dave's song.
Yeah.
As you pointed out, they alternate the songs as you go through the album. And so what are your kind of initial reaction to the song? What kind of stands out to you as some of the more important points?
Yeah, so two things stand out to me. One is Dave and I one time were playing guitar in Central Park, and Dave writes lyrics. I just think he has a way of writing lyrics. Kind of like...
I think he's always writing lyrics.
He's
Like,
just always-
if I
he
can
always
like
comes
peek
up with
inside
another
of his
song.
brain.
Yeah. So I would say this. I think that right off the bat, when Dave starts singing, one is it reminds me of like Relient K. I don't know why.
I was going to talk about that.
So I actually think I almost think he does it on purpose. I don't think that was. I think that's intentional.
Okay.
Because it doesn't sound like that the rest of the way. This first
one is a Relient K
When
song.
I heard it, I was like,
yeah.
When he's telling me how Relient K sings, that's how he sings to me. And I was like, that's what it sounds like.
Yes.
So right off the bat, I was like, okay, Dave, I hear you. I see you. And then, yeah, the lyrics are, you know what's funny is I was listening to this song actually right before you came up. And the lyric, I dug my brother up out of the ground. Is that the lyric? Do you know the one I'm talking about?
Yeah, like I dug you out of the snow. It's like you look just like my older brother.
Oh, you looked just like my older brother.
Yeah.
I thought he was saying that he dug his older brother up out of the ground, and so I was, or dug him out of the snow or the sky or something. And I was like, that's interesting. Because does Dave have an older brother?
No, he doesn't have an older brother.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
No.
He just has a sister.
Yeah, he's got two sisters.
Now we're going into his family.
All right,
history.
let's give away all of Dave's secrets.
Yeah. So, So at first I was like, "Where's this going?" But now it makes sense. Okay. What are your first thoughts?
I mean, my first thoughts are kind of exactly what you just pointed out. It's like the lyrics of this song, the lyricality of it, if I can say that word. It just is great. Like it just is such a showcase of, I think, one of the things that Dave just brings to the table every time is just these great lyrics that they're just, I don't know, I want to say like they're tasty. They're tasty lyrics.
Yeah.
And it's got that Relient K kind of vibe. And so I think the picture of this song that it builds for me is it's this little kid who's like building a snowman, and he's built a snowman, and he's saying it looks just like my older brother. And like but his older brother isn't there. So I think there's that kind of interesting aspect to it of like, you know, being a younger brother who's making kind of an image of the older brother, but the older brother isn't around. I think that's interesting. It's an interesting angle on that song. So there's a little bit of like someone's absent, but here's a friend.
What I like about this is that I listened to this song and I didn't get too deep with the lyrics. And you did. I was like, oh yeah, Dave. I just pictured Dave writing this and just writing the lyrics just for the sake of writing it and having no. But I also like how deep you just went with the lyrics.
Well, that's part of what I bring to the table, you know.
Yeah.
You keep it light. I'm like, and now let's talk about death.
That's where that was going, right? With the brother, you didn't see the brother.
I mean, let's not speculate too far. We can't say.
We don't want to.
Yeah, I think it would be wise in some ways for us to like have the lyrics in front of us because, it would be useful to be able to comment on those directly. But instead, I do want to ask you a little bit about like kind of the orchestration of the song.
Okay.
Is there anything about the orchestration that you feel like stuck out?
I don't know. Are you trying to poke at me for what we discovered when we just listened to it?
I mean, a little bit.
Yeah. So so maybe Dave could chime in on this at some point, but we're not sure. We only hope. We're not sure if some of the orchestration is. It sounds like a possibly like it's Dave singing, like with a MIDI, or with not an equalizer. That's not what I'm thinking.
Like the bridge you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, like during the bridge.
Yeah.
There seems to be this point where you were thinking like maybe it's a MIDI keyboard.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Was just maybe it's a MIDI but like electronic keyboard.
Yeah, but it sounds like it's like he's singing.
Yeah,
but it's like highly like processed, like he's doing a bunch of effects on it or something.
Yeah, which is super cool. Once you said that to me,
yeah,
then I was like, oh, maybe that is it because it sounds different.
It does. It's an interesting little experiment, kind of in the middle of the song.
Yeah.
And then it continues afterwards.
Yeah.
Right. Like he's singing the song again, or the hook again. Look just like my older brother. I'm not going to sing much on this podcast, I think, because it's going to be very scary for me. But he's singing, and then I think he's like doing a harmony or something with that processed voice. And he might be doing it throughout most of the song, but it really becomes clear after the bridge where it kind of cuts out, and then you just hear that part for a bit, and then it comes back in with Dave's voice.
Yeah.
And you hear both of them together.
Yeah.
Do you think that works?
I like it.
Okay, I'm not sure it works for me.
Okay.
I like it. Like, I like the experiment of it.
I just picture Dave doing this in his bedroom, so that's why I like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. No,
it's
it's excellent. It's really cool. But I feel like my brain is just like, what is going on with this part? Like, there's this thing happening, and like there's maybe a dissonance there between the two of those. But perhaps that's part of like, if the song really does have this angle of like my older brother's not there, then there's this sort of dissonance in the like there's the main line that he's singing, and there's sort of this dissonant like harmony. Yeah. Which is a second voice, but the second voice is not there, right? So there's this interesting, maybe it's another layer. Maybe it's another layer on and there not being the older brother around.
That's it. That could be it.
Gosh, Dave's a genius.
And then I'm just sitting here over here going,
genius.
Dude, that's a cool fact.
That's cool.
I'm sipping beer with a straw. That's a cool fact.
I'm sipping a beer. Yeah, I mean, who wants to listen to us? We're sipping beer with a straw.
All right. Speaking of beer, straws, and sipping, Maple is the second song, or is the 8th song on the album.
Right.
And that's Brandon. That is his song that he brings to the table. What did you think of that?
I think both of those songs stand out to me in terms of their hook. I think that the hook of Maple is great. Sweet Light Maple, Fine as Wine. Or Sweet as Maple, Fine as Wine. Yeah, I think. Yeah, is the hook throughout that song, and that just burns its way into my brain. Like, that is great. I really, really like that. And you had pointed out that it sounds different than the rest of the songs on the album. In what way does it sound different to you? So to me, it sounds. I think what sounds different on it is I can't tell if he's playing with an acoustic guitar or if he's playing with like a semi-electric acoustic, like a semi-full body, semi-hollow body. Probably saying that wrong. It just doesn't sound. There's another song of his that also sounds different as well. But this song here gave me a I want to say rock country vibe to it. And that's different than what like I said, the first, like Dave's song sounds like Relient K. It does. And then this is like a rock country is what I got from. That's the first thing that when I first even heard it before he started singing it, and then he uses the lyric Sweet as Maple, Fine as Wine, and that reminds me of a country song. Yeah, it
like
does.
describing somebody, and that's the lyric that they use.
And there's that kind of warmth to that song. Like
Yeah.
maybe
that's
the
what I'm going
sound.
for. Is it's not necessarily it's warm.
And I think like this is not how because we listen to it just like from, how you normally listen to an album the first time, where you just go through the whole thing instead of this pairing that we're doing right now. But that's immediately what I sort of noticed after we transitioned from Sugar to this next song after that, which we'll get to next. But just Brand's voice, and like Brand's sort of like he's got like a warmth to just like the way he sings, and I think in some ways the way he kind of orchestrates the song. There's kind of this warmth that comes along with it, which I think is quite cool.
Yeah.
So to close out, let's talk about Sugar and Maple paired together. So this album is built out of several songs that are paired up, and so what comes to mind for you when pairing up Sugar and Maple?
Yeah, so when you pair the two together, I think the biggest thing for me is, as we've said earlier, the first layer of what I hear is that they're both up tempo, right? They're both up tempo, and they both kind of two up tempo songs bookend the show.
They've got this energy to them.
Bookend the album. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What about for you?
So like we talked a little bit about Brand's, like the warmth of Brand's voice, and I know that this song, that these two, Sugar Maple is the street that Dave and Brand grew up on.
It's because you're a nerd.
Because I'm a nerd, and I have these nice facts.
That's it.
And so I think what's interesting to me is like Sugar has got this kind of electronic Relient K. There's a little bit of that like kind of distortion, and perhaps this sort of like dissonance in it or something. And then there's the warmth of Maple. So it makes me think about childhood, right? With Sugar Maple being the place they grew up. And I know that Dave, this album was called Florida, and I don't think there's a lot of snow in Florida. And so Sugar is about, building a snowman, but I don't know if Dave got to build many snowmen growing up. So there's that element to it. And then, you also get this picture of, I think, like childhood. On the one hand, you have the warmth of like these memories of being a kid, and especially at Christmas time being a kid, which like talk about kind of the warm memories. But then also the discordance of childhood, where like, we can get wounded by things that happen, and absences or what have you. So I think they end up kind of forming this interesting perspective on looking back. I mean, one way of looking at it, I suppose, is this like this perspective on childhood, is what I get from it. I don't know. Yeah, so I think that's what I get from the two.
Yeah,
of those.
and the childhood thing goes along with what I was saying about it's joyful, right? It's up tempo.
Yeah,
I don't see it as like that's kind of my first read listening to both those songs. So I think that wraps it up for this first episode. And I think something that is important for us to keep in mind, and for everybody listening, that The Winter Failure makes the best original Christmas songs that no one's ever heard of.
That's right. And that's why we're Winter Fanboys.
That's it.
All right, everybody. I'm Ben Poland.
I'm Adam McDowell.
Stay frosty, everyone.
Yeah.